I think they just woke up and realized, hey, we're the Red Sox. Like, what are we doing? Like, we got to go get some. We always have stars in our lineup. Like, we got to get the stars back in the lineup. They signed Devers, and I think when they look at Soto and go, we have Devers and Soto for the next 10 years, we're in good shape.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, Chinchy. What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Same to you. I'm real fat right now. I got to tell you, dude. So wait, I got to tell you quick. So we had some people get sick in our family. Nothing bad, just like, flu type stuff. Dude, we had a 20-pound turkey. 7 people here. One of them was a 5-year-old. I have been eating turkey for like 24 hours a day since Thursday, dude.
Oh my God, dude, that's great. That's great. What's your favorite dish?
Oh, my grandmother, my dad's mom, Millie, she made this sweet potato sausage stuffing that she passed down to my mom, who then passed it down to Jess. Me and my dad probably eat like 3 pounds of that.
Seriously?
On top of everything else we eat. I've been eating that for 3 days, too. What about you? What's yours?
Dude, wow, Sarah makes this unbelievable sweet potato mash. But, dude, this stuffing that we make is incredible. We get this sourdough bread from the local, from sourdough bread down here in Pittsburgh, from the local farm. Put like a nice butter in there with some celery and onions. And then I make a homemade soup. I make a homemade turkey soup. I make the broth with the bones next day, and then you take the stuffing, you put it in the soup. Oh, watch out,
dude, we
bro.
gotta teach
With
Jeff
Billy Ripken's hot sauce that he sent me. Let's go.
Billy Ripken's got good hot sauce. He makes hot sauce. He makes pickles too. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Billy
Dude, the guy's a master of all trades.
He really is.
Dude, have we ever had him on the pod?
First year, we gotta get him back. Let's get him back.
Yeah, we gotta get him back. It's been a while, dude. We gotta get Dunner back. We gotta get him back.
Yeah.
We got Mark Budzinski coming on tomorrow, dude. One of my best friends in the entire world. First base coach of the Toronto Blue Jays. Love to get his take on what the Blue Jays are doing right now.
Yeah, maybe he knows where Snell's signing. Hey,
maybe he knows where Soto's going.
Soto, that's what I meant. I said Snell. Well, Snell's on my mind because here, I got a thought for you.
Yeah.
The Mets just signed Frankie Montas, paid him a pretty hefty penny, okay? But that's kind of almost the side story to me. The main story is this. He is a Scott Boras guy, okay? Now, since the start of the offseason, Scott Boras has had his guys, Blake Snell, Dodgers, Kikuchi, Angels, Montas now to the Mets, and if you want to just add one, Nick Martinez got the qualifying offer from the Reds and signed it. 4 of Scott Boras' pitchers are now signed. Is this a bit of a Scott Boras revenge tour from last year?
I don't know if it's a Scott Boras revenge tour as much as it is a Scott Boras failures information tour. I actually think Boras was taken back last year at the guys that he signed late. Snell signed so late, didn't get the deal he wanted. Almost signed after spring training had already started. Then he gets hurt at the beginning of the year because of it. Jeff Montgomery signed super late with the Diamondbacks. I think spring training had already started too when he signed. And then Bellinger signs late, and they all didn't get the money they wanted. They all were late. Montgomery even fired Scott Boras. So I think it was more of an information thing. I'll go, okay, this is how this is going to work with some of my guys. If you wait too long, all of a sudden these teams will drag it out, and that's what they did with those guys. I'm sure Snell was like, get me signed before the winter meetings. Like I don't want to go through what I went through last year. I don't want to wait. I know where I'm going. I want to get, in touch with the team, see what the offseason program looks like. And the Dodgers do it better than anybody else as far as development goes, even with veteran guys on the team, as far as some of the analytics and the metrics that they have, they do it so well. So anybody that's a veteran guy in the offseason, you want what the Dodgers have to help you with your offseason workouts. So, yeah, when you see these guys signing, and Montas is the big one today, getting the 2-year deal with the Mets. But I think, like I said, Chinch, I think it's more of a failures information tour than anything.
I like that. That's a good. Now, from a Mets perspective, you have a nice take on this.
Yeah.
You see, what is it, a monkey see, monkey do type thing that the Mets are doing as compared to which team?
Well, to the Dodgers, I think teams realize that if you want to win the whole thing, you got to be deep in starting pitching. Because and also the bullpens are used so different nowadays, but over a course of 162, so many guys get injured nowadays and go up. I mean, you almost have to have 7 or 8 starters lined up. They all don't have to be frontline starters. I think Frankie Montas is more of a 4-5 guy, back end of the rotation guy, and he got good money. I mean, he has sometimes front of the rotation stuff, but I think he misses with location at times. And that fastball, when it plays up, it plays really nice for some of those hitters. It gives up the home run ball. So I think the Frankie Montas signing, still means they're in for Manaea. They're still in for Severino and those guys, some of the guys that they want to bring back. But at the end of the day, I think when we looked at the Dodgers and we looked at how many guys in that rotation were hurt and they still won it, because they were so deep. I mean, they went 9, 10, 11 deep almost, knowing that they were going to need that. I think other teams look and say, you can never have enough starting pitching.
Yeah, and that just actually kind of popped something into my head, which I think you're going to agree with. What the Mets are doing now. You said I think they're going to. I think they have to get Manaea back. I think they're going to do that. Now, let's not forget, Manaea when he got there wasn't what Manaea is now. Severino, you were with him. He couldn't figure it out with the Yankees. Goes to the Mets. That's 2 guys right there who became high-end quality pitchers. I mean, Manaea, Cy Young type candidate. Sevy figured it out to a degree. It looks like the Mets like the stuff. Go get me the guy with the stuff. We have the people in our analytics department and on our pitching coaching staff who we think get me stuff and maybe I'll fix the guy. How about that? Or not just even fix them, just take them to another level.
Yeah, make them look at it differently. Yeah, I think for Sevy, being with him with the Yankees in 23, I just think a change of scenery for him was good. I think he had kind of run its course in New York there with the Yankees, and I think being with Mendoza, a guy that was familiar with him in New York, and then he's always had the stuff, dude. He's like 97 to 100 with a wipeout slider. I think the biggest thing was his slider wasn't playing as well in 23 as it did this year. I mean, he really had a nice year. So, stuff wise, there's not a lot of guys that have better stuff than Luis Severino. And as far as Manaea goes, we talk about it all the time, but him dropping down to that 16 degree slot and still being able to throw that upper rail fastball, just like a guy at like a Verlander who's at a higher slot. That's not easy to do. So there's a lot of deception now to that fastball, which makes that slider more sweepy, almost like Chris Sale's slider. So I think Manaea, like some guys figure it out, dude, and they figured out later than, some guys later than others. I think Manaea, by dropping down, has figured something out. I really believe he has a shot to really be an elite pitcher, just like he was in those last 2 months and into the postseason with the Mets.
Yeah, plus good guy. Sevy, good guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Montas, apparently good guy. Mets are getting good guys.
Yeah,
now,
Frankie Montas, really good guy.
Yeah.
I was with him in New York, too, for a little bit.
Right.
I mean, he was coming back from injury, but I got to be with him a couple days. Nice guy.
That's great, yeah. One thing that's going nuts around here in the New York area is somebody from NewJersey.com. I'm forgetting his name here. I don't have it up there, but went on like WFAN the other night and lit a fire because he says the front runners for Juan Soto are the Mets and the Red Sox, and the Yankees are 4th at the moment, this guy says. Now, pretty credible reporter. I'm going to get his name, but just take that in and tell me how you feel about that, whether you believe it or not.
I do believe the Red Sox. There's something weird that feels different about the Red Sox. Like, I think they just woke up and realized, hey, we're the Red Sox. Like, what are we doing? Like, we got to go get some we always have stars in our lineup. Like, we got to get the stars back in the lineup. They signed Devers, and I think when they look at Soto and go, we have Devers and Soto for the next 10 years, we're in good shape. You know what I mean? And especially the way Soto goes to left field, dude. He could hit 340 in Fenway with that monster.
Well, apparently the Red Sox, one of their biggest pitches to them is they showed the analytics of exactly where he hits the baseball.
Right.
And it is like literally like when Poppy went to the Red Sox and became, one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
They're telling Soto, if you come play at Fenway Park, you're talking Triple Crown type numbers.
Dude, his swing, it's tailor-made for that place. You know, he, almost like that Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs take that middle-end fastball, shoot it, and drive it to left field. That's what Soto does, too. I'll tell you what, though. Here's the one thing, Chinch. Fenway Park for a lefty is not a great home run hitting park. It really isn't, dude. You got to crush it at Fenway. You have the pesky pole, which is like 290, and I swear to God, it jets straight out to 380. So it's like 290. I was like, oh, yeah, pesky pole. I'm like, no. That no one hits that. You see one homer a year around the pesky pole, two, maybe.
Yeah, there's like a deep corner in right center field. It's like a third corner of the ballpark.
It's a joke, dude. It's a joke. As a matter of fact, it's so much of a joke. I didn't hit one homer there when I was there in 08. Terry Francona still won't let me live it down. But you got to, I mean, I watch Big Papi. When Big Papi hits them, they're bombs.
Right.
They're bombs. They're not like, oh, yeah, that's, you got to get into it as a lefty. So there's that factor. But I do think that monster is, I mean, he could be popping balls up to left and they're doubles or singles off the wall. Like I said, he could literally hit 330, 340 there. And it sounds like the Red Sox made a really good pitch.
Yeah, apparently so. So we'll see where that goes. You know, we had John Heyman on here the other day. He said, I don't even know. And then later on in the day, some more news came that the he said later in the afternoon, it was funny. He was talking to us, Heyman, and he's like, nobody calls us early in the afternoon. I don't hear anything. Later on in the day, I usually might get something. That day that we had Heyman on before Thanksgiving, the Yankees upped their offer right before the day before Thanksgiving. We don't know what their offer is yet, but they must have felt some sort of pressure from, wow, there's more teams in this than we think. So they went back to Soto, gave him a second offer. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 offers because there are 3 or 4 teams who are going to keep. I think this is going to go a few rounds of offers.
The biggest thing about the Yankees is they have the history with Juan, and obviously Judgy and those guys, Booney, everybody has been saying how much they want him. I know for some of the people that went out into that meeting with Juan Soto out in California, I believe, said they had an incredible meeting. And I think the biggest thing with the Yankees is how Steinbrenner's involved here. You know, it's like when Judgy was about to go to San Fran, Hal Steinbrenner came in and said, no, here we're 360. Now that looks like a total steal.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, I think the one thing, the good thing the Yankees fans have right now is Hal Steinbrenner's all in for Soto. So don't count them out because you think, oh, they won't go to this level. If Hal's in and he wants a guy, he could take it to that level. You know what I mean? I think so. That's the biggest difference here with Juan Soto. All these owners are in. And obviously, Stevie Cohen's talking about he's going to outbid guys. So there's just real numbers. And I think the Blue Jays are really in. I think the Blue Jays are actually in for some big money for Soto, too. He's the kind of guy they'd love to build around. 26 years old, the way he does at bats, he plays every day. You know, he makes other players around him better. So can you imagine Vlad and Soto in the middle of that lineup in Toronto? So there's a lot of teams that are all in, dude.
Yeah. One last point on Steinbrenner. You know, there's a pride factor in anything anybody does, especially if you're as successful as the Steinbrenner family. Dude, Backpage is here in New York for the past few years. Oh, he's not his dad. His father would have signed this guy. His father would have done this. If George were here, it would be different for the Yankees. They really do kind of kill him, and they kill Cash. And now you got Steve Cohen over there. Cohen's more like George than Hal. That's got to take a little bit of a toll, man. Come on.
Dude, I saw Hal firsthand. Hal's all in, you know, and Cashman's one of the best in the business. You know what I mean? Those guys work hand in hand. I think, you know, Cash is so good at what he does, evaluating players. I also think that Hal is more hands-on than fans might understand. I mean, he's there. He's in the clubhouse. And like I said, he wants to carry on his father's name too. So at the end of the day, the Yankees are the Yankees. And if Hal wants somebody, he's going to put his best foot forward.
There you go, man. All right, I got to run, man. I got to get on my Thigh Master, dude. I got to get on the turf.
The Thigh Master, bro. Remember that thing was incredible, the Thigh Master.
Chrissy from Three's Company. She made millions off.
Oh, my God. All right, dude. Go hit the Thigh Master. Let me know how it goes, brother. Right. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. We appreciate having you guys back. Hope everyone had an incredible Thanksgiving, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow. See you, brother.
Yeah.